Hey guys, want to make a quick video and talk about some recent maintenance that I had to do on one of the most used tools in my shop, and that is my no weld grinder sander. And what was happening, I had noticed over the last couple weeks or so, as I've been using this a little bit here and there, that there's been a little bit of extra vibration than normal, a little bit more noise coming from the machine, and it was definitely starting to get worse, starting to get more evident. And it was definitely posing a problem at the higher speeds. So, what I wanted to do was get that problem figured out and corrected before it really started to cause me some issues. And just a quick note about that, as well as tool maintenance in general. It's almost always better to catch your problems early and fix them as soon as you notice them, because the smallest issue, such as a little bit of extra noise and vibration, can easily manifest itself in much bigger ways down the road. Parts can start vibrating loose, becoming weaker. You can add extra wear to various parts, such as the motor, various bearings, wheels, and things like that. And what could initially cost you just a few bucks to replace a problem part in the beginning could easily turn into hundreds of dollars if you're not careful, and you let that continue on and destroy other vital parts of your machines or your tools. So, just a quick note about that. I don't really want to get off too much on a tangent there, but I just thought I'd mention that. So, definitely be mindful of your tools, be mindful of any changes, whether it's in sound, visual changes, vibration changes, things like that. And try to figure out what those issues are early, and you'll really save yourself both time, money, and most of all, headaches that come down the road. And another thing I'll just quickly mention, obviously, a well-maintained and a well-working tool is going to be that much more enjoyable to use, that much better and more precise to use, and you're definitely going to get the best work out of that tool when it's properly maintained, as opposed to when you have a bunch of issues with it or when it's needing adjustments or other things done to it. So, as I said, I did have some minor vibration that was starting to get worse and manifest itself at the higher speeds. So, I wanted to figure out what that was based out of, what the source was from that, and try to fix that as quickly and easily as I could. And what I ended up narrowing the problem down to was actually the drive shaft assembly. I definitely had some noticeable wobble when I took the belt off and just ran it by itself. This wheel was starting to wobble a little bit, and there was definitely noise coming out of the bearings. Not so much in a squeaky sound or a grinding sound, but just a little bit more rattling, a little bit more vibration. And what I think the source of the problem was ultimately probably the bearings, but it did manifest itself in the drive shaft as well. I did notice some additional wear to that drive shaft, as well as just a little bit of a bow and a little bit of a wobble in that. So the simple fix to that was simply to replace the pillow block bearings themselves. I did get some new bearings, very similar to what was there. I packed them with grease, and I'm actually using a lower viscosity grease than what I had packed in there originally. Just in an effort to see if I could reduce some of that drag and get a little bit more efficiency out of my motor when the machine is idling. And I went ahead and replaced the drive shaft as well. And what I ended up replacing it with was actually quite a bit of a better drive shaft. This is actually a precision ground drive shaft with a keyway cut full length in the shaft. It's dead straight, dead true, and very highly polished, and just a great piece tool there to put in your grinder. And this is actually made by Beaumont Metalworks and distributed through USAKnifemaker.com, where I get a lot of my knife making and tool making supplies from. And Beaumont Metalworks is actually the same company that makes the KMG grinder. So this is the same shaft that goes on that grinder, if that gives you any idea of its quality. They're also the same company that made my contact wheel, my idler wheel, and my drive wheel. And it's definitely worth the price. It was about $25, maybe just a little bit more than that after shipping. but it's very well made, runs very straight, very true, and it just made putting this back together that much more easy for me. And just to show you the old drive shaft here, before I talk about anything else, you can definitely see some added wear there. The pillow block collar, the collar on the bearing was actually cutting a groove in here where that had loosened up and the shaft was turning inside of that. Obviously that extra vibration rattled the set screws loose, and just really created a magnitude of problems there that was only going to get worse for me. So I definitely wanted to get this out and replace it with something of higher quality and better craftsmanship as quickly as I could. So all in all, that repair probably cost me about $50 or so when it's all said and done after the bearings and the new drive shaft. But I think it's definitely worth every penny for the added efficiency that I'm going to get out of this machine, as well as just the better working machine that I now have. So just go ahead and fire it up real quick. Not that you really have anything to compare that to, but you can take my word for it that it's running as good as it ever did. Definitely a noticeable improvement as far as noise and vibration goes. Things are a lot smoother, and I definitely have a much nicer setup now than I did previously. So took a little bit of effort, a little bit of pre-planning on my part, as well as some prep work to get everything back together. But it was definitely worth that time and that effort, especially compared to what it would have cost me, both in time, effort, and money, had I let that problem go on and the problem increase and show itself in other ways. So I just wanted to make that quick video, talk a little bit about tool maintenance, as well as how I fixed the problem that I was having, and show that to you guys. And if you guys have any questions about that, feel free to leave a comment, shoot me a PM, or make a video response, anything like that. Definitely be appreciated. So that's my video for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you learned a little bit of something as well. And definitely appreciate the views. As always, I appreciate my new subscribers. I've gotten a few over the past couple weeks or so. I hope you guys are enjoying my videos. And definitely feel free to leave me feedback, make video responses, do whatever you have to, and that'd be appreciated. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later.